30 parts of bicycle and their functions. Bicycles are pedal-driven, single-track vehicles with two wheels attached to a frame, one behind the other, powered by humans. A bicycle rider is prescribed as a cyclist or bicyclist. There are many parts to a bicycle, making it a fascinating machine. Many people are unaware of those parts and simply point to a spot on their bicycle if something goes wrong. No matter your level of experience with bicycles, pointing isn't always the best method of communication. A bicycle consists of many different parts, and each part of the bicycle has a significant role. Nonetheless, knowing the parts names of your bike will help when describing the problem. So let's get started. Parts of bicycle. Following are the main parts of bicycle. Handlebar, headset, stem, shock absorber, brakes, rim and disc brake, front and rear brakes, fork, head tube, top tube, down tube, seat, stay, chain, stay, seat post, saddle, koji, set, jockey, wheel, rear derailleur, front derailleur, chain, crank, crank arm, pedal, tire, rim, spokes, hub, valve, fender, rear light. A handlebar is a steering control mechanism for bicycles. It is a type of lever, usually attached to the steer tube of the fork using a stem. It allows steering and provides an attachment point for controls and other accessories. There are two types of bicycle handlebars, flat handlebars and drop handlebars. Flat handlebars are mostly installed on mountain bikes, hybrids, and urban bikes, while drop handlebars are used on road bikes. Number 2, headset. The headset consists of a set of components that help provide a rotatable interface between the fork and the head tube of a bicycle frame. It consists of two cups in which the bearings are located, which allows for low frictional contact between the bearing cup and the steerer. These bearings allow it to rotate so that as you rotate the handlebar, it rotates the front wheel. Number 3, stem. A stem is used to connect the handlebar to the steerer tube of a bicycle fork. It is usually fastened by a pinch bolt. The stem fits into the head tube and is height adjustable. This is essentially the bit that sticks out from the head tube, and the handlebars run through it. Number 4, shock absorber. It is a mechanical or hydraulic device designed to absorb and damp shock stimulations. Shock absorbers are provided for bicycles with suspension. This device limits the rate at which a suspension is reabsorbed after an impact. Using shock absorbers, a shock is converted into another form of energy, which is then dissipated. Number 5. Brakes, rim and disc brakes. As everyone knows, a bicycle brake is a device that reduces the speed of a bicycle or stops it from moving forward. Rim and disc brakes are operated by brake levers, which are generally installed on the handlebars. Rim brakes are called because they are applied to the wheel rim. These are the most common because they are lightweight, cheap, and easy to maintain. Disc brakes are mounted on a metal disc that is attached to a hub. Compared to rim brakes, they are more robust and work better in wet conditions. Number 6. Front and rear brakes. Usually, bicycles have brakes on both the front and rear sides. A. Front brakes. The front brakes are actuated by a brake cable, which includes the caliper and return springs. This pushes a pair of brake pads against the pavement to slow down the front wheel. B. Rear brakes. The rear brake system is located near the rear hub. It is also actuated by a brake cable, including the caliper and return springs. Pressing the brakes forces a pair of brake pads against the sidewall to stop the bicycle. Number 7. Fork. The fork is an important part of the bicycle that connects the frame of a bicycle to its front wheel and handlebar. It consists of two tubes attached to the head tube and to each end of the front wheel hub. Number 8. Head tube. The head tube is a tube originally found on the front frame of a bicycle. It helps to connect the handlebars to the wheel forks and many other components. Number 9. Top tube. The top tube is the frame member that runs from the head tube to the seat tube. Also known as the crossbar, this is the part where the rider steps over to mount the bicycle. Number 10. Down tube. The down tube usually runs from the head tube to the bottom bracket or pedal. This tube is the longest and thickest tube in the frame, giving it its rigidity. This is where you'll find a water bottle carrying cage and a bike brand logo. Number 11. Seat tube. The seat tube is also the main component of a bicycle frame. It's a vertical tube that runs from the seat to the bottom bracket. Number 12. Seat post. Seat stays are also an essential part of a bicycle frame. These are small diameter tubes that run from the bottom of the saddle to the rear wheel hub. Number 13. Chainstay. The chainstay is the pair of tubes on a frame that runs from the bottom bracket to the rear fork. These thin tubes run parallel to the ground from either side of the pedal to either side of the rear wheel. Number 14. Seat post. The seat post is a tube that extends from the frame of the bicycle up to the saddle. It is fastened into the seat tube and moved up and down for the saddle height adjustment. It is usually made of metals like steel, aluminum, titanium, carbon fiber, or aluminum metal. Number 15. Saddle. The saddle is the part of the bicycle on which the rider sits comfortably. It supports the rider's weight on their sit bones and reduces the weight on their soft tissues. Number 16. Cogiesette. A cogiesette is a set of several sprockets attached to a hub on the rear wheel. Number 17. Jockey wheel. The jockey wheel helps to maintain tension in the chain and keeps it running smoothly when the rider changes gears. Number 18. Rear derailleur. The rear derailleur is a lever that helps move the chain from one cassette cog to another on the rear wheel when the rider shifts gears. It is placed in the path of the loose part down the chain. Number 19. Front derailleur. The front derailleur is the part that moves the bike chain from chainring to chainring. Number 20. Chain. It is a roller chain that transfers power from the pedals to the rear wheel, thus pushing it to move forward. Number 21. Crankset. As part of the drivetrain of a bicycle, it converts the reciprocating motion of the rider's legs into rotational motion, which drives the rear wheel via the chain or belt. Number 22. Crank arm. Crank arms are levers or rods that help connect the pedals by the bottom bracket. These are the part of the crankset typically made of aluminum or steel alloys, carbon fiber, or titanium. Number 23. Pedal. The pedal is the major part of the bicycle for forwarding movement. This is the part that the rider pushes with his foot to propel the vehicle forward. It consists of a spindle that threads into the end of the crank, and a body to which the footrest is attached, which is designed to rotate freely on the bearings about the spindle. There is a direct link between the cyclist's foot and the crank, so the cyclist can rotate the bottom bracket spindle and propel the wheels of the bicycle by simply using the Number 24. Tire. Basically, the tire fits over the wheel rim of the bicycle. Its purpose is to provide the interface between the bike and the road surface. Tires provide an important source of suspension for absorbing road potholes. In addition, it generates the lateral force needed for balancing and the longitudinal force needed for propulsion and braking. Number 25 Rim. It is a circle made of steel metal that forms the outside of the wheel. The rim is the part of the wheel to which the tire is attached and often forms part of the braking mechanism. If the rims are used with brakes, the brake pads have a smooth surface along the edge to hold them. Number 26 Spokes. The spokes serve as the connecting rod between the hub and the rim. The primary purpose of spokes is to transfer the load between the hub and the rim, which is caused by the weight of the rider and bicycle. Number 27 Hub. A hub is the central part of a bicycle wheel that consists of an axle, bearings, and a hub shell. The hub shell has two metal flanges to which the spokes can be attached. An axle is a bar that attaches to the bicycle frame. Number 28 Valve. Although not the most attractive component on a bicycle, the valve is important because it allows air to be pumped into the tires, allowing the rider to ride. Number 29 Fender. These are curved pieces of metal or plastic installed over the tires that capture and redirect the road spray emitted by the tires, keeping the rider relatively clean. Plus, it's essentially a cover for the bike's tires to protect the rider from the rain. Number 30 Rear Light. A bicycle light is an illumination device mostly attached to a bicycle. Its purpose is to improve the visibility of the bicycle and its rider to other road users in poor ambient lighting. In many countries, LED lights are the standard for rear lights.